In the early 2000s, Jamie Oliver was not just a chef, he was a movement. With his boyish grin, rolled-up sleeves, and contagious enthusiasm, he convinced millions that cooking could be joyful, simple, and deeply human. But here is where it gets interesting. Despite global fame, best-selling cookbooks, and a brand recognized in nearly every English-speaking household, Jamie Oliver's restaurant empire collapsed in slow motion, and then all at once. Dozens of locations shut their doors. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. And the man who once symbolized accessible food culture became a case study in how passion, when paired with the wrong business model, can quietly destroy everything it touches. This is not a story about laziness or greed. It is far more complicated. This is the story of how good intentions, rapid expansion, and emotional decision-making created one of the most dramatic self-implosions in modern restaurant history. Now, you might be thinking this was just bad timing or an unlucky market. But wait, there is more to this story. Jamie Oliver's rise was meteoric. After being discovered at the River Cafe in London, his television debut turned him into a national icon almost overnight. His message was simple: food should be fresh, affordable, and shared. He was not selling luxury, he was selling authenticity. That authenticity became the foundation of his first restaurant ventures. Jamie's Italian launched with a clear promise: rustic Italian food made with care, served in warm spaces, at prices that felt fair. The public responded instantly. Locations spread across the United Kingdom and then internationally. At its peak, the group operated more than 60 restaurants globally. Revenue climbed into the hundreds of millions. Jamie Oliver Group became a sprawling operation that included publishing, television, licensing, and dining. Investors saw a lifestyle brand with endless upside. Employees felt proud to work for a chef who cared about ethics and people. On the surface, everything looked perfect. But underneath the success, small cracks were already forming. At its height, Jamie's Italian was everywhere. Prime city locations, tourist-heavy streets, large dining rooms designed to feel communal and welcoming. The brand leaned heavily on Jamie's personal reputation. His name was on the door, his values were on the menu, his face was the marketing. And that was both the strength and the weakness. Restaurants are brutally operational businesses. Margins are thin, rent is relentless, staff costs rise every year. Yet Jamie's Italian operated as if brand power alone could overcome structural realities. Ingredient standards were kept high even as costs increased. Menus grew complex, locations were often oversized, meaning higher fixed expenses even during slow periods. Still, the empire pushed forward. New openings continued. International franchises multiplied. The logic was simple. If people love Jamie Oliver, they will always show up. That assumption would prove fatal. We are at 830 subscribers and we really want to hit 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. The first visible cracks appeared quietly. Customer reviews began to change. Portions felt smaller, prices felt higher. The magic of the early days started to fade. What once felt personal began to feel standardized. Behind the scenes, financial pressure mounted. Rising rents in major cities squeezed profitability. Casual dining competition exploded. Consumers shifted toward faster, cheaper options or premium experiences. Jamie's Italian was stuck in the middle. It was too expensive to be casual and too casual to be premium. Now here is the crucial turning point. Instead of simplifying, the business doubled down on expansion and branding. More locations, more concepts, more complexity. Management became layered. Decisions slowed. Costs ballooned. Jamie himself remained the soul of the brand, but the day-to-day operations drifted further away from his original vision. The empire grew larger, but weaker. By the late 2010s, the numbers no longer worked. Losses mounted, debt increased, suppliers waited for payments, staff sensed instability. In 2019, the inevitable happened. Jamie Oliver Group entered administration in the United Kingdom. More than 20 restaurants closed almost immediately. Over 1,000 jobs vanished. Headlines were brutal. The man who fought for school dinners could not save his own kitchens. But here is the twist. Jamie Oliver personally lost tens of millions. He injected his own money in desperate attempts to save the business. He refused to abandon staff without a fight. This was not an exit scam or a calculated collapse. It was an emotional, painful unraveling of something deeply personal. The empire was not destroyed by indifference. It was destroyed by attachment. After the collapse, Jamie Oliver did something rare. He admitted failure publicly. He spoke about burnout, about the pressure of carrying thousands of livelihoods on his shoulders, and about confusing being a chef with being a scalable corporate leader. Most of the restaurants never returned. The Jamie's Italian brand effectively disappeared from the United Kingdom. International franchises quietly rebranded or shut down. What remained was a much leaner operation, focused on media, books, and selective partnerships. The chef returned to what he did best, communicating, teaching, inspiring. But the damage to the restaurant empire was irreversible. So, what actually destroyed Jamie Oliver's restaurant empire? It was not one bad year. It was not one bad decision. It was a chain reaction. Overexpansion in a brutal market, emotional leadership replacing operational discipline, a belief that values could override economics. Jamie Oliver built restaurants the way he cooked, with heart first. But restaurants do not survive on heart alone. They survive on ruthless efficiency, constant adaptation, and leaders willing to make unpopular decisions early. Here is the irony. Jamie Oliver's values were real, his intentions were sincere, and that is exactly why the collapse hurt so deeply. The brand became too personal to cut loose underperforming locations, too emotional to pivot fast enough, too optimistic to accept that the market had changed. Yet, there is another side to this story. Today, Jamie Oliver remains one of the most influential food figures on the planet. His media empire still reaches millions. His advocacy continues to shape public policy, and his failure has become one of the most valuable lessons in modern business storytelling. Because sometimes the most important success is surviving your biggest failure. The rise and fall of Jamie Oliver's restaurant empire is not a warning against ambition. It is a warning against confusing passion with strategy, against believing that fame can substitute fundamentals, against thinking that good intentions protect you from hard math. In the end, Jamie Oliver did not destroy his empire out of neglect or arrogance. He destroyed it by caring too much about the wrong things at the wrong time. And that might be the most human business story of all. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We really want to hit 1,000 subscribers. We are now at 830 subscribers. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video tomorrow.